everyone. Welcome to our webinar on unlocking the power of generative artificial intelligence. Myself, Dashni, tax manager from Premier Brains Global, and your host for today's webinar. I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today, and it is truly a pleasure to have you all here. So before we dive into the good stuff, let me introduce the two firms that have made this webinar possible, Premier Brains Global and Skelong. Premier Brains Global was founded in 2012, over 13 years back. We're handling audit, assurance, tax, accounting, and business consultancy. It is headquartered in Dubai and has offices in Emirates of Abu Dhabi and Sharjah. And we also have offices in Kuwait and Oman. We are an independent member firm of Audit Trust International, which is a worldwide active institute with presence in more than 115 countries. We are also listed with banks, major free zones, and are also FTA approved tax agencies. So, about Skelong. Skelong has been founded in 2007 and is an ISO certified firm and provides IT solutions to clients spanning in USA, UAE, UK, and India. It has a team of more than 200 professionals providing solutions to clients ranging from startups to expansive enterprises. So now let's turn our attention to the esteemed speakers who will be sharing their knowledge and expertise with us today. Our first speaker is FCA Sanjay Gagarani. He is a partner with Premier Brains and has over more than 25 years of extensive experience in various multinational corporations in global oil, logistics, hospitality, trading, manufacturing, and shipping industry in India, Maldives, and UAE. Our second speaker is CA Mohammad Hassan. He is the Vice President of Strategy and Business Development at Skelong. He has been associated with various national and international organizations, optimizing financial operational processes, providing expert tax advisories, as well as technology-driven strategic initiatives. So, on the introduction of our firm as well as our speakers, so without further ado, I would like to invite our first speaker, Sanjay, to take the virtual stage and kick off the webinar. Sanjay, over to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much, Darshini, for a kind introduction about both the firms and myself and Mohammad Hassan. Thank you very much. And good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see such a vibrant gathering of professionals, both for taxation point of view and a technology point of view. Hope you all are enjoying the pleasant weather in UAE. If you are not joining from UAE or outside the UAE, just to let you know, we all have been advised to work from home today, reason being unstable weather condition. But so far, I don't see any challenges, and I hope all of you are doing great when you're in UAE. So friends, before we delve into the detail about the power, the generative AI and how it's making the impact globally and how it's going to impact in future, so let's discuss what is happening around the world. Now we are in the pivotal stage where we have seen a lot of data has been getting generated, and there are a lot of tools are available in market to churn the data and give you the insight. So, so one of the now analytical tool, I would say, the generative AI is making a lot of buzzword nowadays. Reason being it has the potential, or I would say infinite potential to give the edge to every businesses. So before that, let's delve into to understand what is generative AI, why it is like making a lot of news or headline nowadays. So just to let you know, generative AI is a branch of the artificial intelligence, and it has the enormous power to generate the new data, new content based on the it's a historical performance, based on the complex relationship, whatever we give it to it, it can think, it can create a new data. So that is why it is called generate. It has capability to generate the new data and the creating a new data, it doesn't mean it has to be in the form of the numbers. It can create a new music. It has power to generate the new images, the video. So how it learns? It learns based on the algorithm power and tools given to it, and it uses innovative content and solution. So based on, I will give you the real life practical example of what generative AI is making buzz. And just before that, I would tell you that if you have any question related to generative AI and related to any practical uses, please drop your question in the Q&A box, and we'll take up all your questions and queries towards end of the sessions. And I would like to make this session today more on the practical side of it. So only will touch base the theoretical portion only for a few minutes, and we directly jump into the one of the tools we have already got it developed with the help of our technological partners for long. It is called TaxBot. But believe me, this is just icing on the cake, and there are much more capabilities we are going to discuss today. So one of the I will wanted to now come to the practical side of it. Let's say the benefit. What is the benefit for generative AI? So one of the practical benefit I can tell you is, let's say if you want to post for any job, a vacancy on any other website, do it can be done automate. But what happens after that? You get flooded of the information. Let's say 1,000 or 2,000 or multiple CV you get it. So there is no time for the HR personnel, or there are a lot of manual data or data manual reviews involved where the person need to open the file down. First of all, downloading the file, open it, understand it, whether it's meeting the your criteria as per description or not. But that's where the generative AI comes in. It can help you as a HR colleague. There are the tools available that can be customized and generated or can be prepared for the based on the organization requirement. Whereas the generative AI is capable to read all our CV 100%, and there is no sampling here, and can give you a short list of the selected candidate for the interview. Beyond that, even it can schedule the interview, it can interact with the candidate directly. You have been shortlisted, and automatically email can be goes out to the candidate. It can shortlist the candidate, schedule the interview. That's it. That's the power of generative AI. I'll give you the one more example in the finance domain. One more section is, let's say, procurement. Whenever in company and organization, they would like to buy the raw material or any particular item or purchases are involved, they need to float the inquiries in the market. Now, what happens to the aftermarket inquiry that is floated? They are flooded with the quotes. So there are quotes being given by various vendors and suppliers, and their tendering process also involves sometimes. So again, that there is a manual intervention is required to review all the codes, analyzing it, and making sure that's meeting the company's requirement. Again, this job with the help of generative AI can be automated, and just click of the button, it can shortlist the preferred vendor and can give you the, okay, these are particular vendors. You can go ahead and go for a contract execution later on. So these are just few example. My colleague Hassan will definitely take it up in detail with those sessions. So what is the generative AI? The generative AI is something, the artificial intelligence, which has capability to create the entire new data. Just to touch with, as I covered the HR portion, the procurement portion, the financial reporting. I think that if we all are finance profession, we know with the automation, robotic, we can do a lot of financial reporting nowadays. Automation is possible. But beyond that, now with the help of generative AI, even if you write a commentary, how you're performing as per your budget or as per your previous numbers, we can even write a commentary for you and can give you the report. Okay, this particular division, this particular segment is performing better than budget or lower than the budget or is better. Where company should focus it. It has the enormous power, even the right in terms of when it comes to writing and data analysis. Uh, Another is the market analysis. I will give you the example. Let's say here, if a company wants to come or launch a new product in the market, so what generative AI can do it, it can just, have capability to again to analyze what is happening in social media, whether what is happening in a news, I will call the newsroom or news is okay, what is the about the how the people liking the product, what is the competitor products are available, price comparison, or this all can be possible based on the tools given by the generative AI. And just believe me, the technology is still in developing stage, but it's going to be very cost effective. Sooner or later, next down the line, I think we all will be using this technology. Coming back to regulatory compliance, risk management. So these are the few key areas where the generative AI is being used by various organizations. The regulatory compliances, we already knows that there are sometimes, let's say, giving you a practical example, if there is a due date is there. So now regular what generative AI can do in the later on, it automatically will file the even tax returns. It will capture the information from your data, your VAT. If you set up your VAT, let's say that if you talk about the UAE VAT return, it has the capability that it will automatically be just even the create the VAT return and just after the review, if required, then just click of the button, it can be submitted to directly to FTA website. And that's going to happen very soon. About the chatbot or virtual assistant, I will jump to that because as I mentioned, I will take this session more on the practical side of it, and I will show you how generative AI behave. And when we create a chatbot, the professional chatbot, where we have feeded a lot of information about the UE corporate tax guidelines, the accounting standards, and we'll see the real use cases today, how the chatbot is giving us the reply to our day-to-day and professionals tax queries. So ultimately, what we're going to gain it, yes, is going to increase efficiency. It is give us a lot of extra time to do a lot of other better work. So it will definitely ultimately aim is to improve the efficiency and increase the decision making. So I will just show you the small video about the PBG AI TaxMate, and I will talk directly go to the practical example. Okay, this we have just seen the video presentation. Let me now take you through the journey. First of all, this bot is available on our website. If you can visit the premiumbrains.com, and that you will get the access to. I will just show you how it looks like. Here is the PBG AI TaxMate. If you just click it, it automatically will take you to this window where you have to log in. Now you need not to give your like if you required, you can give your professional email address. Even it is now with your Gmail or your social media account also you can access this service. And this service at the moment is free of cost. There is no charges, and you can experience it. So let's together this experience. And before I take it up further, let me know how we have prepared it. We have used the new latest technology related to generative AI. Plus, what we have fed to the information is we have given all kind of regulatory advisory tax laws related to UA corporate tax. When it comes to the transfer pricing guidelines, when it comes to the other guidelines related to the resident status, whatever issue by FTA in relation to UA corporate tax, we have fed the information and we have made sure that it's give the perfect answer. There is one small disclaimer. If you still feel the answer is not meeting your expectation, we sincerely request you please give your feedback because, as I mentioned, this technology is still is the stage of the still not yet mature. It still is learning ways. But if give your feedback, the moment you will say no answer is not correct, the technology itself will evolve and automatically it will try to learn and give you the better answer next time. So let me take up the some. I will start with a very simple question today, and then we can increase the level of question and see how beautifully we can get the answer from that. I have already had some few related questions which I received previously from some of my tax colleagues. So let me just start with a simple question, and I will take you through. Okay. So this is a very simple question. I'm going to ask the tax bot, what is the slab for UAE corporate tax rate? So the UAE tax rate is very simple, 9% for taxable income exceeding 375,000 dirham. I will let me now increase the level of question. Now I will ask the question about the interest expenses reduction. Okay, if you have any question related to taxation, please feel free to type in your chat box. Let's examine those questions also. So don't feel these are the already question I have selected. I have selected randomly these questions. So if you have any question which you like us to test it, please let us know now. So interest deduction, we know that there is a limit in the UAE corporate tax law. We can't have, there is up to 12 million dirhams, there are no ceiling limit, and after that there is a ceiling limit is applicable, a percentage, 30% of EBITDA. That's where exactly is this rule, de minimis rule is 12 million, allows to deduct net interest expenditure up to 30% of earning before interest tax, EBITDA. So this is uh, what the answer. If you see that we have this particular technology, we have not given this particular set of the answer. What we have feeded them with the information about the, what is a corporate tax law, plain text. After this technology itself is understanding it, what is required, and they are to prompting us an answer as well. And even if you do some, let's say, kind of a spelling mistake, and if you write a very, I would say, English, not any proper English, even that will attend and it try to give you the answer. So I'm doing the intentionally some spelling mistake. That can you please give me example of sustains maintained in the free zone detail? Let's see how the bot is behaving here. So what is saying is one example of sustain maintain a free zone retail can be qualified free zone person operating in a distribution business within the free zone. In this scenario, the qualified free zone person must have their core income, yes, CIJA, core income generating activities such as distribution of goods, material performed within the free zone. They can choose and undertake these activities themselves or outsource them to related party or third party located in a free zone. So if you want to know, okay, let me just tell you one thing. If I want to have, if my English is not good, if you want to, my Arabic friend, they want to get this understanding of this answer in Arabic, so we can ask the bot, okay, could you please answer me about an Arabic language? Let's see how it works. Those who can understand and read Arabic can make out of it, but I can see the number of 12 million is mentioned here and 30% is mentioned about here. Let me take it through the next one. Is there any audit requirement in for free zone in UAE? Yes, there are audit requirements of free zone entity in UAE. Free zone entities are required to comply with the arm's length principle, transfer pricing ruling, and the rules and the documentation requirement. They are also required to prepare and maintain audited financial statement. Failure to meet any of this condition can result in a qualifying free zone person losing his qualifying status and not being able to benefit from the free zone corporate tax regime for 5 tax periods. Uh, Okay, let me take it one more. I think we all know that about entertainment expenses. So let me ask them whether entertainment expenses allowed is 100%, whether we can claim 100%. And again, I'm doing some spelling mistake. Let's see how the bot is behaving and what sort of answer we're getting it from here. No, according to players provided contact, clause 1 allow for only 50% of entertainment amusement. They are already mentioned the 50% is we can claim over the entertainment expenses. If can I ask you again for the what about let me ask what about staff training expenses? Can it be considered as entertainment or allowed 100%? Would not fall. So it's clearly mentioned the staff training expenses would not fall under the category of entertainment expenditure. And just telling you that this kind of the whatever the language and this sentence structure, the paragraph structure is done by generative AI themselves. We are not feeding this kind of the question answer in we have not provided this thing. What we have given to the generative AI, this software or this tool, only the rules regulation what has been published by the FTA. Okay, let me just tell you one more about the transfer pricing. And if you're not satisfied here, what we can do is one more feature here. Let me start with a new question here. Uh, what is the threshold for maintaining local and master files? Let's continue with the spell mistake. Let's see what happened. Otherwise, we'll change it later. Let's see how it goes. A tax return person needs to maintain a master file, local file if the revenue in the relevant tax period is 200 million. I believe this is perfectly fine and correct. If they are part of a multinational enterprise group with total consolidated group equal to and exceeding 3.15 billion, we know that is a then we also be required to maintain transfer pricing. Let me now give you the one simple example. If want to start a business, I already wrote one question here. I want to set up a business in mainland and my revenue is expected to be in the range of 83 million for next year. So I'm asking the bot, do I need to pay taxes in UAE or are there any relief available? Let's see what happens here. So what is this? It has analyzed my question and then what it's doing is understanding the law. It's already understood the law and based on that he has framed a very beautiful question answer. That based on the information provided, as we all know, up to 3 million dirham if we are the revenue that you can apply for the small business relief. That's what it's talking about. You can elect for the small business relief in your corporate tax return if you meet the eligibility criteria. Okay, and do we have any question from the team as of now related to corporate tax? We need to ask. As of now, no one is asking any question. Anyone tech
There is one
consultant?
question in comment from Josefa.
Okay. Sorry, I'm using two screen. What is the condition for corporate tax or company's jobs are? I don't know if jobs it will understand or not. Let's examine this one also. Therefore, what is the exemption condition for corporate tax companies jobs? It means a free zone, right? Let's try this. So we are given the definition of jobs. Qualifying investment fund, pension, social security, and judicial person continuity that are wholly on control by exempt person do not only qualify the exemption. Instead, this entity include those in jobs and must take an application federal to be approved to exempt person. The information is based on the explanatory guide on federal decree law number 47. It is giving you the context of the and where particular clause is relevant to that one. I'm not sure the answer is correct now because tax expert can tell us. But what is talking about the exemption condition? Can I further, could you please explain me and give me our condition with example? Understand? Let's see. What is this happening? To understand better guideline from a professional. Okay, he's asking about we need to go for a to understand better the guideline for maintaining.
Some wrong answer has came, I believe.
I would say it's not correct.
We can specify the condition related to what?
Section 2. So it is giving the to benefit from the free zone corporate. I think Jabza is the issue. I think Jabza is somewhere is not been known to this bot. Could be that is the reason it was not given. So to benefit from the free zone corporate regime, we exempt from corporate as a legal entity must meet the following condition: maintain adequate substance, derive qualified income, not have made. See, we all know these are the 5 conditions we need to make it. So we can further delve into that. We can ask them, okay, what is the qualifying income, right? We can ask further. It includes income derived from transaction with other free zone as well as domestic and foreign source income from specifying qualifying activity. Okay, then ask what is okay. Please explain what are the qualifying. So this bot has the capability to read, understand the previous question and side by side and give the answer. So it has not only the referring to your previous questions and even the analyzing the law and put together is giving the answer. So that's the we have made a bot in such a way that it understand and we can continuously can ask the question. Let me go with the spelling mistake. Let's see. Oh, it has given the entire list. I hope Mr. Huzepa, I hope you got your answer. I think it is given you all the. I think this is what we listed in the what is the qualifying activities. If you have any further question, I think we can ask on this related to what is the manufacturing of the goods and all. I think that is the, as I mentioned, this particular bot has the unique feature in it. It is not only that, I mean, relating the question with the your relevant question with the previous question, even and also centering it also analyzing uh, the law and the data what we have feed into the system. Let me talk about one more questions here. Uh, I already wrote to in the interest of time. If I set up a business in free zone, can I avail exemption? Even my total revenue likely to be 8 to 10 million every year. If you set up a business free zone, you will not be able to tax small business relief. Yeah, we know the small business relief is available only up to the 3 million dirhams. That's what it came. The exemption is only available to qualifying free zone person who meet specific criteria, and those are involved again qualifying activities. So that only the condition, but we are not qualified for the small business relief. Uh, So this is where how the system works and the bot giving you the answers. And even we don't understand, we can ask the example and it will create our own example. It will create, okay, let's take an example of company A, company B, and it has created our own example to explain in better way. One more last question, I will take it before Hussein, you take it up. Hussein, you ask any question? You have anything further? Hussein, you have any question?
No, it's
Like you
fine.
passed it? Test
Fine to
it?
me.
Thank you. Any other further question with reference to the year corporate tax? So far, we are going good. So, Hussein, over to you. I think you can take it up further and explain how the technology works and what are the other use cases, like let's say, so we can apply this technology because this is just, as I mentioned, it's the icing on cake. If there is much more heavy potential uses we can see in going forward, and I'm sure everyone is going to use this technology sooner. Over to you, Hussein.
Yeah. Thank you, Sanjay. So most of the part already have been covered by Sanjay. So just to clarify the doubt that it is not okay, we can ask the simple plain questions. We can even give a case study to it and it based on the scenario, it will answer to your case studies. Because in our day-to-day life, there may be a chances that we came across certain situations. So here we have a situation where a LLC company, a subsidiary of a foreign company that provides services to its Indian parent company and invoices them on monthly basis, including the total cost plus a fixed percentage of profit has been marked up. Based on this situation, an advice is seek if it constitutes a related party transaction, and if it constitutes to be a related parties transaction, what are the reason behind it being classified as a related party? Additionally, our user is interested to know the methods used to compute the arm length prices. So let's see if it been able to answer this comprehensively or not. So based on the scenario, it has answered us like this, that the company providing services to its parent Indian company, that is East West Tech India Private Limited, invoicing them on monthly basis with a fixed percentage of profit, would indeed a related party transaction. This is because both the companies are of the same multinational enterprise group and there is a direct relationship between them as a subsidiary and a parent company. So the reason behind this transaction being classified as a related party transaction is companies involved have a close economic relationship and may not operate under the same condition as unrelated entities. There is a potential for transfer pricing issues to arise where the prices charged for a services may not be at the arm length price, thus leading to potential tax implication. Now in the another part, it covers what is arm length price and what are the various methods available to it. So it has mentioned a common transfer pricing method, that is the comparable uncontrolled pricing method, or a cost plus method, or a resale price method, plus a profit split method. So based on the circumstances, it need to evaluate which transfer pricing or the ALP method to be applied here. Likewise, we have another situation just to cover up the text groups. So I hope most of us already understood the uh, text group concept. So based on it, here is a case study where one company, A LLC, holds 95% shares of B LLC, while Z LLC holds the remaining 5% shares. C LLC has two shareholders, with B LLC owning 95% shares and Z LLC owning 5% shares. Given this ownership structure, need to understand whether any one of them can form a tax group, and if so, why. So based on the scenario, it mentions that A LLC holds 95% of the B LLC and has 95% shares. So A LLC and B LLC would be eligible to form tax group under the provisions of corporate tax. Accordingly to law, a tax group can only be formed when any company directly or indirectly holds at least 95% of the share. So here A directly holds 95% shares of B. On the other hand, Z LLC owning 5% share of C LLC does not meet the ownership criteria. And a company. So in this case, it is clear that A and B can form a tax group. So I hope most of the relevant portion of corporate tax we have already covered. So coming beyond the corporate tax mate, we have other options also that can be explored using generative AI. As during the introduction, Darshni and Sanjay have already mentioned, there are endless possibilities related to based on the generative AI. So one case is to create a approval AI wherein any organization may be having any kind of a workflow where based on the authority, based on the company policy and the responsibilities, you need to seek various approvals in day-to-day life, be it an application for leave, be it a quotation, be it issuing invoice. So in each of the transaction, we need to have approval. So here the role of generative AI to understand who would be the correct person to approve this based on the company policies and the responsibility metrics, and it accordingly it will analyze the transaction and share an automated email to the concerned person, and the concerned person would have the authority to approve it, reject it, or even to reassign the request to another individual. So here we have a small demonstration in form of video. So we have already have this
The
POC
following
done.
video serves as a sneak peek into our forthcoming workflow automation demo. We will start off by uploading the document that contains the conditions required to be followed by each individual and the concerning level of manager from whom the approval is needed. After processing the document, we can simply ask a question. The AI will automatically generate a response based on the department and the level from whom the approval is required. A backend workflow is automatically triggered that sends an email to the required manager with the necessary details like the request. The manager can either approve it directly from email or they can open it up on their Power Automate dashboard, wherein a consolidated view of all the requests can be viewed. These requests can either be approved, rejected, or reassigned. Upon clicking on a request, you can see much more detail, that is the requester, when it was received, what are the details, you can add comments, and once done you can finally hit on confirm, approve or reject your request, and will notify the requester.
So another use case for generative AI could be comparing the two documents. So one could be a master document based on the company policies, which would be benchmark for all new documents. For example, any department issues a job description, and against those job description, any CV that comes to the organization will be benchmarked and would be assessed based on the generative AI whether uh, it is in line with the expectation of the job description or not. Based on it, it will evaluate and pass it on an automated email to the concerned manager to approve it, reject it, or to put an hold on it. So likewise, we have a use case created for a legal contract management, as we most of the participants are from a legal background or the finance background, so they can relate and understand whenever any contract comes, be it an agreement, NDA, or any other legal document, we need to understand each clause one by one. Then we need to benchmark it based on the earlier signed contracts, the master copies, and the law of land. So it in itself is a challenging and a long time taking task, but this can be done within a few seconds. Whenever any email will receive, generative AI will check if it is a legal contract. It will extract it, compare it, and give you a summary of whether and what needs to be accepted or corrected. So based on it, you can make the updates. So here we have the video. So right now it is summarizing the contract that has been received to it over email for review, confirmation, and signing. It is summarizing the clauses one by one. And thereafter, it will compare with the company policies and the document if they have the mandatory clauses in it or not, or does it need any correction. So it will simultaneously check, review, as well as make you the possible recommendations. So here in this case, it has suggested there is a missing clause of non-solicitation in the given agreement. So even it has not just suggested a missing clause. Even this has also given you a draft of how to write a non-solicitation clause based on the company policy and the previous agreements that company has already signed. So it has given a draft to include. Thereafter, if you have any further questions, like you ask it using a chat GPT or anything, likewise, you can ask any question related to this agreement or the company policy once this has been summarized and the suggestion being done. So one can understand who may have ever experienced reviewing and finalizing any legal contract can understand it definitely takes time. It to to the expert, it takes few hours. To others, it takes even few days to finalize any contract. But using this kind of a generative AI tool, we can simply can finalize any agreement, NDA or any legal contract within few minutes in less than an hour. So as we all have experienced the chat GPT, we might be using it since last year. So we have options like chat GPT, we have options like Bard or Google's Gemini or any other. So the question is, these kind of GPTs are a kind of a based on public information. What about if you would have a GPT based on your own organizational database? Say there is an organization XYZ LLC and XYZ LLC has a history of 20 years and they may be having 10 different departments and those departments must be having their own confidential data that is not available over the chat GPT. So these kind of organizations or enterprises, even the government departments can leverage a customized organizational GPT. So don't be generic. Every we can have a GPT customized for every audience need. So it would be a kind of a knowledge management that can access the knowledge base of an organization and instantly answer the complex questions. It can even give you an expert level of support. Consider a remote organization, a remote location where there is a production unit and some mishappening happened and the required engineers is not immediately available and they need kind of a support to take up that emergency situation. So based on the history in previous ways, how organization has tackled those situations, it can give you a first level support to at least take care of the initial situation. Then we have us streamlining the knowledge documents, the KT. Whenever any new person joins an organization, HR department used to streamline their KT. They used to introduce to the team members to the company policies, company ethics, and the policies, processes, and the frame workflows. All these things can be taken care by the customized GPT. So what one need to do is we need to deploy this GPT framework. company will provide access to all their documents, be it a PDF document, Word document, or the database. And based on it, it will see how to reply, how to convert their complex question into easily understandable answers. So all those documents will be converted, digitized, and based on it, you will get the answer. For example, if as a new employee, you want to understand the process of reimbursement claim, you have to look out for the HR team. Then HR team will give you access to the company policy, or you give you an email. Then you will have to search out based on the company policy, which page, which section will give me an idea of reimbursement of internet. But here you can simply ask, would like to understand the reimbursement of internet, and it will answer you how you can claim a reimbursement of internet. So we have a live demonstration for this. I have a few questions already in place for this. So this is a kind of a GPT that has been developed by us for a multinational company which is in existence for more than 30 years in India. They are into consulting, and the issue they were facing is there are a lot many business queries from their clients and from the leads or the prospects they used to come. And for answering these queries manually, they need to engage some kind of a staff who may be having diverse expertise in different domains. So this can be easily answered using ChatGPT customized for a given organization. So here the query is, a company is looking to set up toy manufacturing business. What could be an ideal place and why? So these kind of client engagement or lead engagement questions can be easily answered by a personalized generative AI. So it has answered that the ideal place for setting up a toy manufacturing business in India could be Noida, considering the recent development in the industrial sector. It has given out, listed out the various reason, the updates and the development related to it, and it has closed the query. Now there is another different kind of a query, which might be a query of any one of us. We are experiencing AI, and AI is everywhere. It is like a kind of a buzzword. Everyone would like to adopt it, but it comes with certain risk. So we need to understand what are those risks. So this GPT can simply answer it. So it says as an, so the query is related to, okay, if I am from insurance sector, would would like to adopt AI, but like to understand its potential risk. So it has given me a specific answer what kind of potential risk are associated with AI, like data security, bias and fairness, regulatory compliances, transparency and explainability, ethical consideration. It has given a personalized answer as it says, considering the ethical implication of using AI in insurance sector. So it is specific to insurance sector, including issues related to customer policy, privacy, fairness in pricing, and the impact on the workplace. So it has very beautifully, carefully, effectively, and efficiently answered the query. Likewise, we as a consulting companies, we used to come up with different uh, case studies based, scenario based queries from our clients, from prospects that need a lot of research. So here is one such query. How can you help Acme Toys for the following? Company is Acme Toys US based. Objective, their objective is to establish a wholly owned subsidiary for a toy manufacturing company in India. Services they are looking for is market assessment, taxation, and a production link incentive plan. So they need not to engage any expert doing manual research, Google research. It can instantly answer then and there. So here a comprehensive answer it has provided that company can assist Acme Toys in achieving their objective of establishing wholly owned subsidiary. Under market assessment, it can conduct a comprehensive evaluation of Indian toy market, including analyzing the market size, growth potential, and the key consumer segments. Under taxation, it can analyze the corporate tax rates, GST implication, and the potential tax benefit available to the toy manufacturing. Under production linked incentive plan, say it is a query related to India. So Indian government is providing production linked incentive plan. So it can advise the Acme Toys on the eligibility criteria and the potential benefits under the this scheme to the toy manufacturers specific to them. By understanding the requirement of PLI scheme and how it can benefit the manufacturing operation, they can take up the advantage. So here it is, this generative AI is acting as a support to any consulting agency. So it's not the case of any service industry or a consulting industry. It can likewise help other industries also, be it FMCG, insurance, be it banking, fintech, oil and gas, any manufacturing unit, any trading company, e-commerce, or likewise. So one last question. And after that, if anybody has any question related to the whole of our webinar, anything specific that can be asked with this chatbot, feel free to type and comment.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions already lined up, Hussein. So we need to take up those
Sure.
questions also. A few questions are in the chat box, a few are in the Q&A. Very relevant question about bad debt provision reversal. Nice question, Suraj.
Okay,
Let's
so
see how
question is, yeah.
about the bad debt reversal. Let's check, see how the board is behaving. Let's see that.
So let me switch to corporate tax.
Yeah.
So which one you are talking about?
First one is the taxable. Okay, you want to take it here? Yeah.
Yeah. If taxable person is carrying the provision of doubtful debts from Suraj, this question is in their accounts prior to effective corporate tax date, what will be the tax treatment? So Suraj, we have a beauty in this. You can even type your query to the chatbot, or you can simply ask like you use Siri or Google. So here typing. So it says if
So
a
it is subject
taxable
to
person
tax. So
is
it has to be
subject to
subject to
tax.
tax. Darshini, I hope this answer is correct. Vineet also there on call. Okay, next question. How the 84 million monetary minimum acquisition cost threshold for which participation between minimum
So
ownership it
another
can be met?
question is 4 million monetary minimum acquisition cost threshold. Let's
Okay.
see if it can answer satisfactorily or not. So Sanjay ji or Darshini, any comments to this question?
I think Darsani can comment it. The participant must also be subject to corporate tax equivalent foreign account qualifying for person. I think it seems to be correct.
So Suraj, it would be must be entitled to receive at least 5% of the profits and the liquidation process.
By saying, can I benefit from a UAE corporate tax exemption if I own less than 5% shareholding in a company? What kind of benefit?
Let's see.
Okay, let's ask the question also. What can answer?
Yes, there can be instances where UAE business make strategic investment in another business or a company that does not result in 5% or greater ownership interest, or where the percentage ownership in participation below 5% ownership threshold due to events outside the control of UAE shareholding company. In such cases, minister may prescribe a certain minimum acquisition cost to address these situations and reduce the administrative burden.
Not sure
So it
whether it is
says
answered.
right
What is the
now
question?
law is
Benefit
not clear
from,
to
but
it.
the questions benefit about UAE corporate tax exemption. What kind of benefit? Is it about grouping benefit? I'm not sure. What is the benefit we're expecting it? The question is not clear to me. What is the next?
What is
What is the
corporate
corporate tax?
tax implication DIFC?
DIFC. Bot doesn't know DIFC. Have we given any information about DIFC? No.
Let's see. It says Dubai
Oh, it's
International
already
Financial
released.
Center.
Okay.
So I hope it has correctly expanded DIFC.
Um, but this answer seems to be not correct. Company has subject 0% tax rate on profit. So that has to be brought. I think DIFC, we have not given any rules and ruling about. You can answer it. This is not correct.
So as we have already disclaimed that generative AI has its own limitations. So at times answer may not be the correct. So in that case, you can simply give a thumbs down. A pop-up will come. You have to mention what went wrong to it, what is not in line with your expectation, and generative AI will take up. And next time you will find a more proper, effective, efficient answer to it, more accurate.
There are a few questions in the chat box also. One question came from Mr. Mahesh. Can you please check whether the allowance for expected credit loss is allowed as deductible expenses and documentation required to place? This is a very good question. Can you take up this question?
Yeah,
Okay.
just a second. Just a
I
second.
think
Resharing my screen.
I'm sorry we are going to
Yeah.
exceeding the time of a few minutes, but
So
just take up this
this
question.
this is Mr. Mahesh questions. Yeah.
Yeah, you take it up this question, yeah, please. Can you? It is given in the chat bot. I mean, a chat box. Rashni said is the answer is correct. No, no, no. First question is, can you please check whether the allowance for expected? Okay, you're taking a second question. I think your typing was not correct. You just go ahead
Yeah.
first, check procedure and documentation for transfer of going concern from foreign company to UAE company. And before that, he asked about the another question from him is
This
about
is, can you please check whether the allowance of expected credit
yeah,
loss?
correct, correct. That's, can you copy paste this question? Let's check that part first.
So it says it is not specifically mentioned in the provided context or the chat history as a deductible expenses. However, generally speaking, expected credit loss is a provision made by a financial institution to account for potential losses on loans or financial asset due to credit risk. To determine it can be claimed as a deductible expenses, it is important to consult specific provision of the corporate tax law. So it is not specifically cleared within the preview of law.
But as we know, these financials are prepared as per the IFRS and ECL is also required as per IFRS. The answer should be yes. As long as it is as per the IFRS, then it should be subject to the deduction, right? That is how it should be. So still, if we can, you can just type in a further question. If it is accounts ECL provision made as per IFRS, in that case, is it deductible? Can we I type further one question, edit here?
If
If
the
the ECL is as per
ECL
IFRS,
is as per IFRS, can then the deduction this expense be claimed?
it's giving the more or less same answer.
Mm.
You're asking to consult your tax consultant.
So this is one thing. Okay, even if it does not have the confidence level while answering a query, it won't, instead of giving a wrong answer, it is judicially letting you know that better to con contact with a tax professional.
Okay, there's not one more question he asked. Procedure and documentation for transfer of going concern from foreign company to UAE company, but the minister already prescribed the limit of minimum acquisition cost. Then please check documentation requiring case of bad debt written off. No, it's not bad debt. So Mahesh, the earlier question was the reversal of bad debts. Okay, and the bad debts now provisioning also happening as per IFRS 9, the ECL what we're discussing as of now. So as long as we had a proper documentation supporting as per the IFRS 9, we can provide for the ECL and then only the auditor will sign your audited IFRS. Even if it's not getting audited, still you need to have proper working done as per the IFRS 9 and then going to be subject to the tax reduction. Now, question earlier was Suraj has asked, what about if we have the ECL provision or bad debt provision pre-tax era, and now we're getting it back this money. So ultimately, that money, what we're going to have, we're going to create over as an income, and that going to be subject to corporate tax. So that was the earlier question. But the other question I'm not clear what is trying to ask procedure and documentation for transfer of going concern from foreign company to UAE company. What is transfer? Transfer of going concern entity? But I mean, are you clear on this? Darshini, are you clear on this question or should we? I'm not clear on that. Can you really retype it the question again, Maheshji, if possible? Darshini, can you read this question and can let us know what is the exactly requirement in terms of the UAE corporate tax, if you can understand? Um, hello, Darshini, you're there?
Hello.
Darshini, there is one question from Maheshji. Procedure and
Hmm.
documentation for transfer of going concern from foreign company to UAE company. What is this question? I mean, I'm not able to gauge or understand this question from the perspective of the UAE corporate tax. Uh,
So
if you,
basically, uh, transfer of a going person means they are re-domiciling the company from foreign company to UAE company, basically. The same
okay,
company is being re-domiciled, or else it is just a acquisition from the UAE company perspective. So, in any case, they will be requiring uh, The registration and okay, so Mahesh is clarifying UAE
Ah, the
companies
UAE company is
purchasing the
purchasing the shares
shares.
of foreign company by way of shares.
Okay,
What is the document requiring? I don't think so it is anything specifically mentioned in corporate tax law. I'm not
no,
very much champion in UAE corporate tax law, but let's ask the
no.
question. Let's see how the bot is. Like,
So
can you put
first
up the
of
last
all,
question, Hashanji, and then we can close this webinar for today, and then you can anyway can reach out to us anyway. Hassan, pick up the last question. The UAE company is purchasing the shares of foreign company by way of shares. What is the
Yeah.
documentary required in terms of the
So it says valuation report. This report would detail the valuation of the shares at the time of purchase, any revaluation of share at a later rate, and any gains or losses resulting from fluctuation of foreign currency exchange rate. Additionally, any documentation related to the ownership percentage, duration of ownership, and the compliance with minimum ownership threshold under the participation exemption regime would also be important.
okay. So this is linking with your okay participation exemption. Okay. So, but participation exemption will not be applicable when they already buying the company here. Yeah, later it will be applicable. It will be subsidiary of the UAE based company. It's not re-domiciled. They are buying it as a foreign entity. That's what I understand. So Maheshji, I think we can consult separately, but as of now, I don't see the direct link with the corporate tax except this participation exemption point of view. So you can, yeah. So anything else? Sachin, I think we already overshot your time by 8 minutes, so we can go to the. Okay, the one last very interesting question for Amy. I just wanted to ask if this AI system is free accessible or you need to subscribe. As of now, it is freely available on the website. You can go and enjoy it, but please don't forget to give us your feedback to us. How is it working? And even you will get your feedback. Just click on the button also over there. So thank you very much. You made this your engaging question. You made this session very interactive, and we're looking forward to another exciting webinar. And would like to come down to meet with you if you have any requirement related to artificial intelligence or how you and your organization can benefit out of this technology. Thank you very much. Signing off till next time. See you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.